the Society for the Conservation of Philippine Wetlands Incorporated is bent on ensuring the promotion and proper implementation of National Wetlands Action Plan. Joining us via Zoom is its Vice President and Executive Director, Amy Lecciones. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Thank you for having me.
No problem po. Let's start talking about the wetlands in the country. For those who are not aware, just how extensive are the wetlands here in the Philippines and gaano sila ka-importante sa ecosystem po natin?
Okay, for starters, I think we should define what wetlands are first so that everyone will understand what we're talking about. There are actually three types of wetlands according to the Ramsar Convention. The Ramsar Convention, incidentally, is the international treaty for the conservation and wise use of wetlands, of which the Philippines is a party or a signing country. So there are three types of wetlands. The first type is the inland wetlands. This includes the lakes, the rivers, streams, and we have also coastal and marine wetlands. And these are, of course, our seas, and we have human-made wetlands. These include dams, reservoirs, and other water storage facilities. So you can see there's really an encompassing definition for wetlands, and that makes the Philippines almost all wetlands. Why is it important? Okay, if you would like to know about numbers, it's very difficult to put an exact number on the number of wetlands. As in, like for example, yung coastal wetlands natin runs all over all the islands, so you cannot, count that. In terms of the inland wetlands, there had been an inventory done in 2016 by the Biodiversity Management Bureau, but it is not updated. It's from 2016 yet. And why are wetlands important? Because wetlands provide ecosystem services. These are the services that we get from nature. And these include provisioning. Provisioning services are those that we extract from wetlands, from nature, especially from wetlands. And these include fish, rice, all other things that we extract from wetlands, including medicine, timber, building materials.
Yeah.
We also have regulatory services, and this is, for example, wetlands are effective carbon sinks, so it helps in regulating climate. Then we have the recreation and education services. As you know, I think you know that most of our beaches are really places for recreation. And some wetlands, like for example, the Agusan Marsh is looked at as a place for recreation, not just for recreation, but also some wetlands are being looked at as places where what you call this, yung mga
pang-leisure time po.
These are wetlands na especially our IPs look at as some sacred places.
I understand.
Yeah, and then lastly we have the supporting services. Supporting services are, for example, the water cycle. It maintains the water cycle, soil nutrient generation, and these are the factors that keep all the other services sustained.
Ma'am Amy,
that's why wetlands are important.
Ma'am Amy, there is a National Wetland Action Plan, and of course, it'll be difficult to really go through each and every step of it. But could you summarize very quickly what the National Action Plan, Wetland Action Plan is, and of course, the challenges of implementing it?
Well, at the outset, let me just tell you that the National Wetland Action Plan is really quite outdated. Even indicated in the chat group earlier that although we use that as a guide in implementing wetland conservation and wise use activities, sadly, this has never been really endorsed as an official document by the government. So I would like to make that as a colatilia so that, you know that it is not an official document, although we have it in our website because it underwent through rigid consultations. And in fact, the use of that is, even if it is not officially endorsed, the stakeholders, particularly us as the society and even the Biodiversity Management Bureau, use that as a guide in implementing activities that would conserve and promote the wise use of wetlands.
Ma'am,
So
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but then we just showed the social media accounts and how to reach your organization. But since we're running out of time, I also want to bring up the fact that you did mention that medyo outdated na po ang National Action Plan natin, and it is not an official document as well. In your opinion, is that the next step, one, to update yung action plan natin and get government agencies and more private individuals and groups to try and push for that action plan to conserve our wetlands po?
Well, actually, there is a national policy. We don't have yet an overarching national policy on wetlands. Okay, so there is a consolidated bill already filed in Congress, except it hasn't been marked as priority. But we will see in the next Congress if we can do that. Yeah.
Ms. Amy, thank you very much for joining us. And again, you can reach out to the Society for the Conservation of Philippine Wetlands Incorporated on these pages online. And we really appreciate your time on educating us on more about the conservation of wetlands and why they are so important. And hopefully, the legislation does pass to make your lives a lot easier po. Maraming salamat, Ms. Executive Director and Vice President, Ms. Amy Lecciones. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.